Hello, and great to see you here today. My name is Cherie Woodard, but I am doing a video challenge. So let me talk about that first, and then we'll go into a little bit more about introducing myself to those I haven't had the pleasure of meeting. So this is day 6, and it's a 10-day online crew video challenge that is run by Helen Martin. So again, today is day 6. So she wanted us to do for this particular day, I put my notes down, but what she wanted us to do for this particular day was to choose a book that we really, got something from that we really like and share that with you today. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to go on and introduce myself first. To those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Cherie Woodard, and I help business builders and entrepreneurs to use social media to get prospects, leads, and sales in their business. And I also am online with a e-commerce health and wellness business. So those are the things that I do, and I love doing that. I love being able to do it online, and it's just awesome. Now, the book that I've chosen, it's a book that I don't know that a lot of people are still reading it. It was a book that um, I believe someone recommended to me a long time ago. Believe it or not, back in the day when I was in my 20s, early 20s, and it's probably, was a whole, it just kind of went along with my life. It was just normal for me to be negative. And that was because of, they say the 5 people you hang around the most. And, my mom didn't know any better, so she would say, stuff like money doesn't grow on trees. And she would say, you know, that doesn't work or no, it's a lot of negativity. And she, just trying to take care of her kids, single mom. And there were 7 of us at home. I have a total of 9 brothers and sisters, but there were 7 of us at home. And so, I believe I picked that up from her, as well as going to college, picking up stuff from people. And I wasn't one of those people that started out and had my own mind. I was trying to follow and, become part of and all of that kind of stuff. That was back in the day, one of those things that was important to me. And so for me, I had finally gotten to a point where I was working in a full-time job. I had, friends at my full-time job. I had people who cared about me. So just noticed myself as opposed to them. And I found something that I wasn't sure of, so I went to them each. These are the nurses and doctors that worked in the ER that I worked in way back in the 70s. And I asked them, what they thought of me. And I would go to each person singularly, and kind of say, "Can I ask you a question?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure, whatever, what is it?" And I said, "What do you think of me as a person?" And so they would start out really good and say, I think you're a really nice young lady, and I'm glad, to work with you. But I think that you have like this, you have like a negativity, or I don't know if that's exactly what they said, but basically I came away with I had some things that I needed to change in order to be a better me. And I remember actually one of the people that I really respected the most was my head nurse. And that's what they used to call him back in the day, head nurse. And she was over the ER. And I would, talk to her and hang out at her house. We were good buddies. So I felt comfortable asking her what she thought of me as well. And she was the one that told me, "I love you." And, and I said, "Yeah." And I love you too. And yeah, okay. And she said, "But, and you are a good worker. You work really hard and, you're going somewhere. And I know you're going to make it to where you're trying to get to." But she said, "I just want to let you know that it seems like you have this big boulder or, on your shoulder. And I'm hoping that one day that will not be, but overall, again, she said, "Girl, I love you." And, so we went back and forth. So anyway, I decided, and I can't remember if maybe she recommended the book. I don't remember how I found out about this book, but it was called The Power of Positive Thinking by, and I knew the name was gonna slip away from me. Let me let me get to the name. Um, of course, it's not gonna be right. There it is. Okay. I had to look at my notes to find it, and my notes are in my phone. So it's The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. And for me, that was the start of me changing myself to be a better person, to be a more positive person, to be a more open person, not so, hewn down and not so, that kind of stuff. And, I have a smile on my face most of the time. And back in the day, I don't think I did until, maybe later during the day. And, other people were coming on shift and, maybe I was leaving, maybe I was staying over, can't remember exactly. But I started smiling, and after a while, people noticed there was a difference in me. And that was because I was reading this book by Norman Vincent Peale called The Power of Positive Thinking. And I know it may be old hat, it's one of those books from back in, that I read back in the 70s, but I don't think books, depending on what they are, ever really go out of style. So this was the beginning of my becoming a more positive person, a more happy person, a more person who wasn't afraid to smile. And that big old boulder that I had on my shoulder just disappeared over time. And I continued to, grow and become a better person. And actually then went on and went to nursing school because I loved these nurses that I worked with and I wanted to be just like them. So basically that is it. That's my tale. That's my book that I'm recommending. I know it's old. I know it's not one of those, that people talk about a whole lot today maybe, but for me, it was life changing. And I'm so glad that I had that book. And so that is the book that I would recommend, especially if you're, looking at negativity versus positive and you want to see something else and read something else. It may be old. Sure, it's probably been updated, but that book really and truly changed my life. So that is all. I will be coming back on tomorrow, and I am going live today on my business page, and tomorrow I'll be going live on my personal profile. I'm trying to keep it straight, and I think I got myself into trouble yesterday because I ended up having to redo my video because something that I did caused some problems. So I'm hoping I don't think that's going to be a problem today. So I'm going to keep it moving and I'm going to keep on picking up what I need to pick up, learning what I need to learn, growing in whatever areas I need to grow in from this challenge, this live video challenge that Helen Martin has put on. It's just one of those awesome things that you do to, even though you've done it before, there's some people that do it every time she runs, a live online crew video challenge. And there are some that don't, but I've noticed there are a lot of people that are repeat, and I have done it myself. I can't remember if I've done it 6 times or this might be my 6th or 7th time, but it's one of those things that helps you to rework and make sure of what you're doing and how you're doing it and, how it's coming out and that kind of thing. And so that's it. So I will see you tomorrow, and I'm gonna go on and get off here. But wherever you are in the world, no matter what time it is for you, I hope things are going well and blessed. And I will see you tomorrow. So bye now. Take care.